Hello, everyone. Hello from South Africa. Awesome to have you here. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Great to have you here, Solly. Great to have you here, Tamal. How you doing? How's everything going? Praduma, awesome to have you here as well. Okay, I'm super excited for today because we're going to review your projects. I want to review your GitHub sponsors another time, but we've got some green squares. There's no template for that yet, so I'm hoping one of you wants to do that today. We are going to be reviewing your open source projects and profiles. We've got lots to get through today, but do say hi in the chat and let me know where you're calling in from. We've got one person from South Africa, and I think Praduma from India. No, I know that. I'm saying I think. I know. Tamal, I'm not sure. And whereabouts in India, Tamal, as well. Hey, Collins, let's go. Great. I'm loving when everyone says hello in the chat. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we get started, who needs some green squares for today? We'll find you some. But there was an issue created by Milena, and it's creating a new template. So when people go create a new issue, we have these, review my open source project, etc. and so forth. But we want one which is review my GitHub sponsors. So I'd love for someone to complete that today. I've tried to put some notes in here and give an example. Do your own thing, have a look and see. Let me know how that goes. While you're doing that, let's review some of your live stream reviews to see what we've got today. Let's go to page 21. I swear we knock off like one page each time, but then like 10 pages gets added every time. But that's all part of the fun. So let's have a look and let's get started. Let me nudge this over. Portfolio, I think I did ask for please share a GitHub repo link. I'm going to close because nothing's been shared. So no GitHub link going to close. Please submit. What do you think? Please submit a new issue. If you have a GitHub link, have a GitHub repo link. I think that's fair. Does that make sense? What do you think? While you're doing that, let me catch up with the chat. Cool. Akhil, I'm glad you're excited. Me too. From India as well. Whereabouts, Tamal? I was planning today to go to, not to go today, but today I was looking at flights and hotels and stuff to go to New Delhi. So I'm seeing what conferences are early next year. So I'm thinking of trying to, combine our trip with a conference. And Sarah wants to go see the Taj Mahal. Is that how you pronounce it? She's super excited about it. It's like a 4-hour drive though. It's so far. From India as well. Nice to have you here. Awesome. Kenya. Cool. I haven't been to Kenya in like over 10 years. Super cool place. Hey, Bibek. How you doing? Where are you from as well? Let me know. Krupali. Who also, let me think, on Discord, I remember this. You have a nickname. Is it Chai? I'm so bad with names, but when people have two names, it makes it even harder. And different profile pictures. You're definitely testing if I'm awake. Rakesh, you're not late. Awesome to have you here. We are just getting started. We're giving away green squares. I actually have a surprise for you today on this live stream. We're going to be joined by a guest later on, and we're going to do a bit of a demo. So we'll see. They're going to ping me when they're ready as well. 10 thumbs up already. Awesome. Let's see if we got to 50 last time. Let's see if we can get to 100 this time. Let's see how it goes. Thank you all so much for your support. Really appreciate it. Awesome to have you here. Okay, so. What do you think about this message? I'm going to close this issue. It hasn't got a GitHub repo. What do you think? Okay, Solly, thank you so much for agreeing with me. We've got to get these numbers down. I did give them a week to reply. They didn't. They can always create a new issue later on anyway. So I'm just going to hit close. They have got some community feedback in the time as well. Okay, so refresh. One less to do. So we might get down to we'll get down to 20 pages today. Let's see how we go. And I think the same again here. People have given feedback. Please share a GitHub repo link. Let's have a look. There's still portfolio link. There's still no GitHub link, right? But they are replying. So no GitHub link. Going to close. Please submit a new issue if you have a GitHub link, or we can reopen it. Is this the repository and the new link? I've just shared the actual link. No repos. I'm gonna close this again. Let me know what you think in the chat. Hey, how you doing? Kota Prolu. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I want to get better at these names. We're definitely on the Eddie Hub Discord community call. I want to practice these names a lot better. Yes, an Eddie Hub meetup. That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. Oh, yeah, I'd love that. Nepal, awesome. Never been. I look forward to going. I'm sure it's on Sarah's list. Sarah's got loads of places on her list. Hi from India. Awesome, everyone. It's kind of like, what is it, like 8:30 for you there now? Hey Rahul, how you doing? Hey Bishal. Hey Emmy, where are you in the world? I cannot remember. Remind me. Hey Abdul, let us know where you're from. Okay, let's keep going. So I'm going to close that one. Okay, so now if I refresh, I think we're down to 20 pages. Oh, GitHub did not like that. Page 21, page 20. Let's just change that. Okay, page 20, we're on the last page. So let's have a look. Next one up. And remember, green square, I need this ticket done. Before the end of this live stream, I hope someone raises a pull request so we can merge it in. I need an issue template so I can tweet that people can submit their GitHub sponsors profile for review on the live stream. And it's going to be interesting. Never done that before, so I look forward to seeing that. Okay, profile, changes in progress. Is there a GitHub link? I don't see one. Please share GitHub repo 7 days ago. Okay, I'm going to close again as well. I think, give someone a week. They can always raise a new issue. Okay, we've done 3 already, but haven't really done 3. Let's see how we're going. It's good to try and clear some of these up. No GitHub link again. I don't see. I didn't ask for a GitHub link on this one. I should give them a bit of time. But on 28th of February, Kendall did ask, Eddie likes checking the source code in his live stream. So I'm going to close as well. Wow, we're racing through these in kind of record time, but not for the reasons that I want to do. 8:41. I was pretty close. Okay, so it's around like 8:30ish. Just gone. Cameroon, awesome. Never been, but it looks great. The whole globe is on Sarah's list. That is very true. Very, very true. It is. Lots of places are on our list. We're working through her list. Okay, so next one, let's have a look here. Hopefully we have a GitHub link. We have a portfolio, but the portfolio is hosted on GitHub, so I'm guessing we could guess it and find it. Or maybe I shouldn't close this one. They have shared the repo as well. Okay, perfect. Let's have a look. The first one. Okay. So I've got lots of suggestions on this. I should put the link at the top. Loads of suggestions. What are your thoughts? So this is the repo. Is it the same one that they shared? Let's have a look at the top. I'm guessing it's going to be the same one on GitHub pages. Yes, it is. Okay. So let's do some thoughts and some comments. Okay. So let's make some notes. So reviewed on live stream, and I'll put a link to the live stream as well. I need to get that link. Here we go. Okay, reviewed on live stream. Oh, no, not bold. I meant to paste. There we go. Review on live stream. Looks great. Some suggestions. Okay, I think we can group these into 2 suggestions. What do you think? We've got the portfolio itself and the repo. So we've got portfolio, and then we've got the repo. So we can put a list under each one. And let's just create some space. Always good to have some space. So on the portfolio, what are your thoughts? I think it looks good. I like the kind of the computer background. You got the email, which is really good. You got a YouTube channel. When you've kind of got the email address that you see, and then you got YouTube channel text, and then it just says YouTube. If someone takes a screenshot of this, the email they can kind of read off it, but the YouTube channel they can't. So my suggestion is going to be have the YouTube link displayed as the full YouTube URL. My suggestion. What do you think in the chat? Let me know. README should be more descriptive. Absolutely. I think a screenshot would be good as well. If anyone wants to raise issues on those, I will make bullet points and I will share this issue here. But if anyone wants to actually raise issues on the actual repo for this, and I think that'd be a really good idea. You could even take a screenshot and raise pull requests and so forth. So that's my initial thoughts. That one. The same with the Twitter one as well. I think that's quite important. Same with Twitter link. Right, make it easy for everyone to kind of find it, to see it. You don't know, what people, screenshot and so forth. Skills. I mean, these percentages, I think we've spoken about before in the past, is quite hard. So I can tell they're better in Python than C, and I can tell they're better in C than PHP. But it's kind of, I don't know what that means. So they know 99% or 95% of Python. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, I don't think that's great. So progress bars are not a great display of skills experience. What do you all think? Do you agree? Experience. I wonder if they can put some. I would prefer to see here some actual, GitHub pull requests, some issues raised, like some actual GitHub stuff. Do they share their GitHub link anywhere? They have Twitter, YouTube, maybe not. But they're doing this on GitHub, so they could share some of that. I think would be good. It's great they got location, because I like to see where people are from, especially with time zones, knowing where they are. So I would maybe suggest including GitHub pull requests, repos, anything to display your real world experience. I think that's really important. Let me see what you all say in the chat. Yeah, same with the Twitter handle. We're on the same page. Good to know that I'm not the only one. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, percentages. Okay, that's good again to see that I'm not the only one. I mean, it doesn't relatively, it makes sense between them, but as a whole, it doesn't make sense. And a lot of people just put like 100% everything and to try and stand out, and that's not the best way to stand out, in my opinion. The text for the social handle can be a bit bigger. Also about me, there's a little bit of improvement in the sentence for semi-professional overall look. Let me have a look. About me, computer enthusiast. They could make more use of that space. I think that's a really good idea. I want to add that as well. Hey Void, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You're welcome. Thanks for supporting. I love it how people say hi to each other. That makes me so happy, just seeing in Discord and YouTube lives, people chatting to each other and supporting each other. Oops, went too far. Okay, so also suggested about me to have more information. I think so as well. Good idea. So let's quickly look at the repo, and then we'll move on to the next one. So for the repo, I think they need a screenshot. Add screenshot to the README. Remember, any of you can do this. You can send a pull request. I also think they should put a link in the settings for the repo. Add link to the repo settings under description. I think that's quite important. And then maybe quick start guide if people want to contribute. They need to know how to set up the project. Quick start guide. Like when I'm reviewing someone's portfolio for if I'm hiring them for their client, I don't really look at their portfolio. I look at the code and the repo that they use to build the portfolio. So in fact, this should probably be a higher priority than the portfolio itself. Yes, first impression counts. So that's why the portfolio needs to look good. But then I'm gonna if I'm impressed, then I'm gonna dig deeper into this, and that's what I think is really important. So okay, well I think that's good for now. What do you all think? And then we'll move on to the next one. Hey Emma, how you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, everyone have a great week ahead. Love that support. Sudhansu, hopefully I pronounced that right. Hey Kartik, how you doing? I hope you're all doing well. Kartik and Sudhansu, you have no profile picture on YouTube. Add one. I highly recommend it, right? Some of my clients are here. Other people you might collaborate with in the future have the same username as your Twitter and your GitHub and your Discord and the same profile picture. Therefore, when you chat to people on Discord or on Twitter, they're more likely to engage because they recognize you. So I think that's really, really important. Okay, let's give that a close. I'm just going to copy this so I can put it into the next one. And let's move on to the next one. Let's see what we got on a portfolio and a repo. Let's see what we have next. If I give this a refresh, we have this one next. Okay, is there a GitHub link? Okay, going to close as no GitHub link. There isn't a GitHub link, right? No, portfolio. Okay. Please, we can reopen when a GitHub link is added, or feel free to create a new issue. Okay. Next one. What have we got this time? We have got a repo. Let's have a look. Okay, what are your first impressions straight away, everyone? What do you think? 60 stars, looking good, looking promising. What do you all think? Copy, test, go. Not sure. That's probably a mistake. I wonder if someone wants to raise an issue or create a pull request removing that. Copy just seems a bit of a strange name. It's usually when you kind of copy a file. But on Apple, it like appends it. So maybe it's pre-appended. Someone did it manually. SQL to Redis caching made easy. A link to a blog post about it by the looks of it. It's got releases. So it has no packages, which is fine. But they probably want to hide that. So hide packages if feature not used. Definitely want to hide stuff that you're not using. Wiki's hidden, which is good because they're probably not using it. What else? If I go to Insights, always good place to start. No code of conduct. Definitely the code of conduct. Add code of conduct. What else have we got? What are you thinking, everyone? Oh, I didn't share this. Let me share this in the chat. Thanks, Rakesh. Yes. Don't smash the like button. Look after your computer, but definitely hit that like button. Thanks, everyone. How are we doing on the like button? How many numbers have we got? We did 50 last time. I think last Monday we did 50. Let's see if we can beat that. So what else have we got? Contributors. This banner takes up a lot of space. Doesn't seem to add a lot of value. I would either make it half the height or maybe try and add some things. Banner in README takes a lot of space. Suggest adding more info to it or halving. Halving? What's wrong with that? Halving. I can't speak English today. It's Friday, right? Halving. It's Monday. I know it's Monday. It's okay. I just saw it on top of the computer. Or halving the height. It takes up too much real estate, right? You want people to get down to this part to see what it is. I think I was going to say maybe a screenshot, but then probably not. This is what the copy thing was. Path to file, copy to Redis string. Maybe this is why they've got a copy in. I'm not sure. But I think they could do a little bit more with the README potentially. Hey Emma, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. How's the new job going? Not so new. It must be your second or third week. I think it's your third week now. 22 Tamal. Thank you so much. We're getting there. We're almost halfway to 50. So it's good. It's got a license. Okay, and let's just check one last thing. Issues. They've got labels, which is great. And they're using pull requests. Okay, I think that's. I haven't got a lot of feedback for that. That's my thoughts so far. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. And don't forget, I always like to allow time to review all of yours as well. You can share the number in the chat and I'll try and review them shortly. But let's do a few more from the bottom of the list and see how we go. GitHub profile today. It's our first one of a GitHub profile. Okay. Let's see what we got. Do what is great. All right, it's a nice picture, but I always think having a profile picture of yourself, I just think it just makes it so important. No worries. Thanks for joining and supporting when you can. Really appreciate it. I know you're super active on GitHub and Discord, so no worries. What are all your first impressions? They could do some more badges maybe. They got their Twitter handle, which is good. They've got their location, which I think is good for time zones. They belong to one organization, which is good. The repo is short. Oh, sorry, not the repo. The customized repo is short. Connect with me. I think that looks good. I think it looks really good. Android developer, like it's clear what space they're in, which I think is really important. Yeah, I like it. I don't know what to suggest. Just the profile picture, maybe. What do you think? Give me some, help me out here. Give me some thoughts. Maybe I think adding a profile picture would make it more personal. And then get some more achievements. I haven't done many green squares in a while, and maybe some more code reviews, potentially pull requests and issues. More pull requests. code reviews and issues. Okay. What do you all think? Let me bring this back up. They've contributed to EddieHub, but they're not part of EddieHub, or they might. Yeah, they're not part of EddieHub because they don't have to make it public. I think as an admin on EddieHub, I would see that they're part of it. So yeah, and if you're watching this, definitely join EddieHub. And extra points for a banner. Yeah, I think banner's a lot of hard work. So yeah, definitely extra points for that, and extra points for the picture. I think make it more personal. I think is really good. Okay, I don't think we've got any more for that. Then let's move on. They've already got some great feedback as well, and they've been commenting, which is great. Wow, I'm quite behind in these. You can tell. GitHub profile. We reviewed one of theirs today, so I'm going to leave that for next time. Okay, we've got another profile. I love doing profiles because I get some ideas for my own as well. And same with repos, I suppose. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, wow, this looks really good. I like this. What do you all think? I think this is great. You've got a row of achievements. You've got a row-ish of organizations. They're following people. They've got followers. The banner looks good. I think this looks really good. I would probably remove that graph. That's probably my only suggestion. I think it doesn't do them justice. I actually think it makes it look worse, and it takes up a lot of space, is my thought. But let me know what you think in the chat. I'm just going to make a note before I forget, because I've got terrible memory and I will forget. Large line graph at the end takes a lot of space and hurts your profile. And I should say, and I think hurts your profile. So yeah, maybe do a bit more code reviews, issues, and pull requests, but otherwise, I think it looks good. Definitely suggest doing more pull request, issues, and code reviews. Let me bring that back up and then see what you all think in the chat. Can I make a video where you solve an issue on the video? Sure. What? Any particular issue? I've got an issue open here that I want someone to solve. If not, if no one does it, I can solve this, and we can all do it together on this live stream. But I want all of you to get the green squares. Like literally, I'm giving away green squares in Discord, on Twitter. Nobody wants them anymore. I think maybe everyone's interested in I don't know, purple squares or something. Green squares just don't seem as popular. To understand the code base for a first time, you don't need to. I don't think. I think people use that as a block themselves. I must understand the whole code base. You can't. I don't even understand the code base of projects that I am the author of. But I have other maintainers, so the project is moving forward. But even I don't understand those. So you just need to understand enough to achieve what you need. And this is why it's good to have a user GitHub discussion, discuss it. People who are more familiar with other parts of the code base can give you some suggestions and some hints and so forth. So yeah, okay, cool. Praduma agrees with me. Great to hear. It's good. And I think they're making use of the description and the links down here as well. So it's good. Glad to see I'm not making too many mistakes today. So thank you so much, Praduma. Yeah, I think those graphs just, when they first came out, they were exciting. Everyone was like, wow. But now it's just not so good. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Are they the same? So they've got 4 repos here via widgets. Are they a duplicate? So you've got plus plugins, Superbase Playground, Flutterfire, Fly, and up. They are different ones, I think. Yeah, they are different. There isn't one that's the same. They are all different. But I think they get rid of the graph is probably the best. But yes, you're right. I wouldn't have these widgets as well as pinned repos, I think, in my opinion. But it's not a massive deal, I suppose. Thank you, Showrun, for your support. Really appreciate it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I think a couple of people have said that. Now you're making me question, doubt myself. Should I suggest that? Are the pinned repos and also the repo widget in the README, both required. Yeah, I think if you have too many, it kind of devalues it, I suppose. It is. Hey, Carl, how you doing? This is a surprise for today. Carl is going to be joining me on the live stream and going to be talking about showing us the contributions that Carl's done to the Finder EddieHub project in SvelteKit, getting it to log in OAuth with GitHub, and maybe some more green squares for you as well. But like I said, nobody wants green squares. Okay, let's have a look and see. You want to explore open source? Well, that's what all the content I create on YouTube and Twitter and created the community EddieHub. So link in the description below. Come and chat to us in Discord between videos and live streams. And while you're down there, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, it's as if I've done that 1,000 times before. And also, yes, in the GitHub org, EddieHub org, you got 5 steps to get started with open source. So let us know. Icons or badges in the tech stack. Yeah, I think that's a personal preference. I don't think I do that. Some people do it. I don't think it's good or bad. I think if you have too many, then it's bad. But if you want to highlight some that you use, then I think that's the good idea. Okay, so top four badges are in the repos contributing to the pinned. So these ones, these widgets, repo widgets. 30 thumbs up. Thanks for the update. Loving that. Getting closer to 50. With orange squares, just like Halloween. Yeah, GitHub will change that. PRs for unit tests. I've seen that. Yeah, definitely do PRs for automated testing, unit test, integration, end-to-end. So many projects are missing that. I think it's super important. Remote work, I'm not bringing it up on the screen because you wrote in capitals. I think it's a bit rude. Please no need to shout. I try and go through as many comments as possible. Open source, you get remote work via open source. Hey Aditya, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, pull requests should focus on like one thing that adds value, and then you just keep adding more pull requests for those. So Carl, let me know when you're ready, and I think I want to move on to the next repo. Let's have a look what we've got. You've added Playwright to Finder as well. I did see that notification come in, Carl. That's pretty cool. You have to show us that when you join me on the live stream, yeah, it'll be good to see how you did that. You did that so quickly as well. Oops, not mean to open that. Where have I gone? Did I open it? I clicked on it instead and opening a new tab. Okay, let's have a look. GitHub profile again. Okay, lots of suggestions already. Carl's DM'd me, so Carl might be joining me. Okay, Carl, let me get you a link and then let me just open this for everyone to start sharing their thoughts. And we can review this one and then jump into reviewing some of your awesome work. Why have I got? Did I open it twice? I opened it twice. Okay, everyone, what do you think? Let me know in the chat, and I'm gonna get Carl a link to join me. Okay, so what do you think? Opening Gitpod, I do like that, right? Make it easier for people to contribute and improve your profile, opening Gitpod. So that's pretty cool. They've written about, they're using their bio, they've got quite a lot of followers, they've got a location, they've got some nice achievements. I think if you've got 1 line or more, that's pretty cool. And again, up to, I think 1 line on organizations is really good as well. Part of NVIDIA, nice. What's this one? Hack Club. Cool. And EddieHub, of course. I hope you've all joined as well. So yeah, this looks good, but I think it's duplicate information. So this banner looks quite nice, but it does duplicate the same information. So that would be my suggestion. Duplicate information on the banner with the profile. If we didn't have the profile on the left, like this is good for like a tweet or something or poster, but I think it's just duplicate. I think, yeah, it could probably be removed or made a lot smaller. They talk about themselves, which is really good. I like this with some links to go see some things. And look at the social links, which looks good. And I'm guessing these are created by GitHub Actions as well. Recent videos and so on. This probably isn't needed. The GitHub one, I think I removed it from mine because you can get that. And I think these last two take up a lot of space. What do you think in the chat? Let's have a look. So yeah, Playwright added. Looking forward to see that. Hey, how you doing? Awesome to have you here. Open source for the win. Yes, exactly. And a thumbs up on this video for the win too as well. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, the banner looks nice, but maybe not for the profile. Carl, I'll bring you up as well. Unmute when you're ready. So let me put some comments down. So I mentioned the banner, but I also think the most used language widget. Oops, gone the wrong way. Takes up more vertical space. And then what else have we got? Dev card. Dev card takes up a lot of vertical space. You could put them side by side, but then one's going to be taller than the other. I don't know. It's not so good. I think it's reducing people getting down to, look at this. There's a lot of green, right? Over 2,000 contributions. I think you're increasing the time for people to get to this, and less people will make it to that. So yeah, I think having a customized profile is important, but not too long. And same with the GitHub activity, I think, as well, because like the GitHub activity is just underneath down here as well. So it's exactly the same. So GitHub activity in the custom GitHub profile is not required, duplicated with the information at the bottom of the page. Do you agree? Bottom of the page. But otherwise, yeah, looks good. Okay, I want to close that one. Let's just see if there's any more comments that I missed. Okay, so we'll come back to this in a minute. So let's close it, and we're gonna quickly pop on with Carl, and we're gonna look at the Good First Issue Finder repo. This is the one Carl's been doing some amazing work on. 120 stars now. I think by the end of Hacktoberfest, we'll definitely double or triple that. No pressure on Carl. I see Carl laughing. How you doing, Carl?
I'm doing great. I just returned from vacation.
Nice. So you're like all fresh and ready to go.
I had the first GitHub break like in a year now. You see it in my graph essentially, but I didn't put that much emphasis on keeping my streak this time.
Let's have a look at Carl's profile real quick. I won't do a full review, but let's have a look. Yeah, it's good. It's healthy. People want to see that there's a break in the green. And look at that diamond. That's a really impressive diamond. So looks really good. And I see you getting support in the chat already. So refreshing to see Carl on the stream again. Exactly. Carl has an awesome smile. Yes, Carl is always smiling. Exactly. Carl, do you want to share your screen and give a demo of what you've done, and then you can show the code on what you've done, and then we'll be deploying it soon for everyone who's using the Finder project as well. So if anyone hasn't seen it, it's a great way to find projects. I think it looks really, really awesome. I love the design using Tailwind and SvelteKit for the full stack app. And then you can search EdiHub or the entire GitHub for the issue EdiHub : good first issue. So we can like filter out actual good first issues. Okay, so let me remove my screen and add Carl's. You're going to have to zoom in on that though, Carl. That's quite small. Maybe one more or two more.
Otherwise, I can't read it anymore because it's so big.
Oh, really? Yes, I have that challenge sometimes. Okay.
Let's do it like this. I think this works.
Hopefully that's okay for everyone. Let us know.
So yeah, what we like, I think we had some interest in this in the last stream as well, and then I started working on it because we didn't actually know how much time it's going to take to migrate authentication to GitHub OAuth. So I started immediately, and it was actually quite straightforward, fortunately.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I think let's give the demo first, and then we can speak about like how it's done. Like whenever you come to the page, it checks if you're authenticated or not. So yeah, okay, I'm not currently. That's why I'm redirected to the login page, which is like a very simple page. Like it's nothing fancy UI wise. You see some small tweaks in the UI because like for example, the theme switcher is at the bottom now. Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what to do with it and where to place it. So it looks okayish, but you'll see
No,
why
it looks
I
great,
moved
and
it there.
it looks great, and I think it gives the opportunity for people to contribute and make improvements. So if anyone's interested
Sure,
in
definitely.
SvelteKit, Tailwind, anything like that, remember you don't have to make things perfect. Just improve them, make them good enough, and improve it, and keep tweaking. So no, this is good. It's good that you don't do it perfectly. Otherwise, you won't leave anything else for anyone else to do it.
Yeah. So what we can do now is like obviously hit the login with GitHub button. We're getting redirected to GitHub to authorize with our account there. I just authorize myself, and then I'm essentially back at the page we know from before.
Awesome.
I also added like this thingy at the top, like your profile. It's inspired by Google, and that's also the reason why the theme switcher had to move because it was placed there before. And yeah, sign out obviously works the same way.
Okay.
To give us a small like insight on how it's technically done, it's obviously on OAuth with GitHub. What I did there was like first I upgraded the SvelteKit version because there were major breaking changes recently that essentially had to foster like the entire routing system inside the app changed. It was a major thing, and I'm glad that it's done now because it's actually quite painful migrating to the new versions. I introduced 3 new routes, like a callback route that handles the response from GitHub once we are getting redirected back to our app, the login page, which essentially just generates a CSRF token for us, and then redirects us to the GitHub login page. And yeah, a login route that just invalidates the cookies we use. Because it's a full stack application, we are using HTTP only cookies for transferring authentication state between client and server. And yeah, logout just invalidates them, so the app recognizes that we are not logged in anymore and just like replaces the values with like empty strings. But the expiry date is set to like 0 Unix timestamp, which makes the browser to delete the cookie essentially.
And I have some questions if that's okay. So
Sure.
when you built this, did you is there some good documentation and some tutorials on it, or did you have to kind of really understand OAuth and the way it works?
Especially for this scenario, I implemented there was like a reference video on YouTube on how to integrate SvelteKit with GitHub or authentication, but it was like for a very old version, so I like had to transfer the things done in the video to like the new versions. That was essentially the one of the major. It wasn't that hard, to be honest, because the reference is already there. Another part was, for example, if you're not that familiar with OAuth, using CSRF tokens, for example, isn't probably not that straightforward. CSRF tokens are essentially there to validate that the login request, actually the response you receive from the login request is like the response to the request you initially sent there, because otherwise you may get bad links. I don't know how to explain it. Like what we're doing is we're generating a random string, setting this randomly generated string as a cookie, and the response we receive from GitHub, you can see this in the callback handler, also receives this random string token from as a URL query, as a query param, and then we are able to validate that they are actually matching. That's probably a bit more advanced. It's also not mandatory to implement this CSRF protection, but I think it's good practice in terms of security to do this.
And I have
Yeah,
another question, if that's okay. So on your file names, like under login and log out, you've got a plus. What does that mean?
yeah, that's exactly the new SvelteKit convention.
Okay.
Um, so the entire routing system is now based on folders and not on files anymore. So before we were actually having index.svelte, login.svelte, for example. Now
Okay.
everything is based on the folders, or yeah, the directory name, and the plus just symbolizes the compiler that it's an actual root. So I would be able to create a regular TS file inside this folder, but this wouldn't
Okay.
act as a root then, or wouldn't be
I
rendered as a root.
see. Okay, got you. Okay, makes sense. Sounds good.
Um, yeah, so that's essentially it. Um, it's actually, if you're familiar with OAuth, it's actually pretty straightforward because I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to write a refresh logic because GitHub tokens don't have a expiry. Yeah, not in the scenario we are using. I think you are able to get refresh tokens there, but it's not required for us currently. So I didn't have to do this. And the second thing is like just like using cookies and yeah, understanding like this concept of cookies and that they are passed to the server and the server can pass them. But yeah, if you're familiar with OAuth, I think it shouldn't be too hard. Also, the GitHub documentation is quite good on
Yeah, it
this.
is very, very good. Um, okay, cool. It's good. And you said you wrote some automated tests as well. And everyone listening,
I,
automated tests is a great way to contribute to people's projects.
I have to admit I initialized it, but I didn't write a test because the issue
Okay.
is that currently I need to find a way to like mock authentication because
This
otherwise
is the
you will always
challenging.
be
Yeah.
redirected to the login page. Like we could definitely write tests for the login page. Shouldn't be too hard. Um, but yeah, for now I initialized Playwright to
Okay.
spin up like the dev server, like build the server and preview, run the preview script, and open port 4173, which is like the new default port for Vite. And I also adjusted like the package JSON to run Playwright. And I also created the tests folder already, but like it's just containing a git keep for now. Um, yeah,
And what
the biggest issue that the pushback I had was that I first wanted to find a way to like mock authentication before
yes, definitely.
doing this, and also like authentication in this PR is a bit different than it is in the current live versions. So I would like, in case I find a solution for like the current version, I would need to refactor it entirely for the new authentication system, and that's why I also like I don't know. I didn't feel it's worth doing this now because it would result in like the double effort because I would have to refactor it in every way.
Sure. No, it makes sense. Let me just address. I have another question, but let me address some of the things in chat. So just going to say, Krupali. I think it's Chai. I think you're the same person. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, there's an issue here. It needs to a pull request needs to be created for this. I've given some instructions, but any questions, let us know. Because I really want to review people's GitHub sponsors profiles, so we need an issue template for that. Web3, yes, you can get started. Absolutely. You know way more than enough already. If you go to the EddieHub GitHub org, there are 5 steps or 4 or 5 steps to get started contributing today. So don't wait, get started. Praduma, no worries. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, Carla's here showing us some awesome OAuth stuff with SaltKit, and we're going to find some also green squares for people to contribute. Oh, you are the same person. I knew it. You were trying to trick me, but I found it. So just going back to the discussion about automated tests, I think it's important to have automated tests that actually do the real login with GitHub, like it's an end-to-end or integration test. But you want to do that like once. You don't want to hammer GitHub for that. So you want to do that once. And then the rest of the time, once we know that works, we want to mock it out. But the problem with knowing that works, the challenge is you have to create like a fake account and store the credentials in there. So it's a bit harder, but most of the time we trust that we use these libraries correctly. And if we redirect the browser back to the redirect loop with the same payload, then we assume GitHub's going to do the same. The only thing is, if anything ever changed on GitHub or the OAuth server that we're using, then it would break. but most people stick to the same standard. So I think the chances of that happening are very, very small. And we're probably going to test it manually ourselves every now and then. So we'll pick that up. So I think mocking it out is the sensible option, but it's always the most challenging to do. I think that's what puts a lot of people off in automated testing is they don't know how to mock it out.
It's not that easy.
Might make actually a really good live stream or YouTube video because it is really challenging. Every time I do it, I think it's just a massive challenge every time, and sometimes it just works. I'm not sure why. I'm like, how does this work? But it works. I'm happy. So
Like the solution I'm currently thinking of is setting this authentication cookie inside like the test to like mock this cookie. And instead of doing an actual like login server round trip with an actual GitHub account, just using a like personal access token because they are static and you can export them to the environment.
That's true.
And because Playwright is a node process, we can access the environment. So this hopefully could work. I didn't test it yet, but that's the idea I'm having. What I did here is I created a new Svelte kit project real quick to show how the tests actually would look. That's the demo test that gets generated when creating a new Svelte kit project. So yeah, it's testing the about page, navigates there, and then expects the H1 element to contain this about this app string. So it's actually quite straightforward with Playwright. But yeah, I think Debbie is way better with Playwright than me.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Or two things. I just want to say to Rohit, yes, we are reviewing open source projects. We're reviewing this one now, but we're going to go back to the list that people have submitted as well shortly. People who want green squares, yes, the authentication is maybe a bit more work, but don't worry about that because it's got lots of public functionality that needs testing first. Yeah. So check the login page. Exactly. Check the login page appears. Check that you can search with the search box, that you can flip between EdiHub and GitHub, that the links to GitHub and Discord
the
also
is working.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, what we could actually do is similar to this NASA project I think Debbie had or showed us, where they actually like pre-write the tests and tell people what to test. We could do something else. Not something else. The same.
That's a really good idea.
Like, pre-write the tests, and people just need to insert like the actual code for this, but we kind of provide the test scenarios for this.
I really, really like that. And then we could in the comment like have the name of the file, like what file as an example. Yeah. Yes. You know enough, Sudhansu, hopefully I pronounced your name right. You know enough. Get started. If you know a little bit of JS and you know how to copy and paste, you can kind of, get started with testing. Awesome, Rohit. So I think you can get started. I mean, look at this example, right? It's go to the page, basically, about, and then you're expecting the text H1 to have about this app. So it doesn't need, this is a lot of the time, actually not a lot of the time, most of the time, it's just repeated over and over again with a few actions and a few assertions. And that's exactly. Really it. Yes, you're changing the values and all the rest, but it's pretty much the same. So it's such a great way for, actually, Carl, remind me afterwards. I'm going to do some tweets about this so people can start contributing. And I really like the idea, Carl, of putting in the placeholders in the project, because then that way, again, it makes it a bit easier for people. They don't have to worry about where do I create the file, what do I name the file. Like it's there, they've got the function or the method. It just needs to be populated. So I really like that. Yeah,
I think I need to set up a few things before, especially when working in Gitpod. I think integration is not like the configuration is not entirely like working yet, but like if you're on localhost, it should work already. Okay. But yeah, we should definitely add some test files because it's just a git keep to keep the folder. But as you said, I think it's a quite cool way to contribute by like writing automated tests, and if we can make it as easy as possible for users or for contributors to write these tests, I think it's like also a cool showcase for other projects, so they can maybe other projects can adopt this.
Exactly. I think it's a really good idea. Maybe I think we should do a live stream dedicated to that. And maybe we can invite Debbie back again and
Yeah,
she can help us with some ideas on how to lower that barrier to entry for people to contribute, like the NASA project as an example. And maybe she has some other ideas we can trial out. I think that, especially with Hacktoberfest coming, it is a great way to get people
yeah.
to
Also for
contribute.
other projects like Linkfree, for example,
Yes,
like also pre-writing tests there and people just like
exactly.
populating the pre-written tests. Um, yeah,
Exactly. So I think, and then we've got, I think, other EdiHub projects that we can use, and then people can use the same idea for
yeah,
outside EdiHub and so on. So I think it's a really good idea. Um, yeah, I really like that. We should do a dedicated stream on that when you get time. I think, that would be good. And like I said, I can invite Debbie. I'm sure she'll join as well.
yeah. I also need to have a look at the NASA repo how they set up this like dummy tests
Yes. Well, dummy
to
test, I think they're a
have a
placeholder, right?
yeah, something like this. Yeah, I just
Yes.
called it dummy tests, just like this placeholder thingy. Because yeah, currently we're not having any tests, and like it would be quite cool to reach a high coverage just by community contribution. Start because now obviously we're starting at zero
Yes.
coverage, and seeing like 90% or 59% coverage in the future is like we know that everything was contributed by the community and not by a maintainer itself.
Yes, it's true. And it's a great way to learn about a project, great way to get involved in the project. We could maybe do like a live stream that we say we don't stop the live stream until we've covered 100% coverage of all the public features. Maybe not the private ones because that requires a bit more work, but it could be quite a challenge. And we would obviously contribute some, but then at the same time, other people could contribute. I don't know, or a Discord call maybe or something, because then people can share their screens. We'll have to have a think and see, but definitely got some ideas around that, and you can see people supporting would be so cool. Exactly, love it. Um, Anything else you want to show, Carl? I know you've got some other things, other meetings that you need to get to afterwards as well, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
I think that's it for now. I think
Let me
this
share a
entire
link to the project as well.
login feature is quite close to being able to merge. We need to set up the cluster for this, like the secret for
Yeah.
the OAuth application. We need to set up on GitHub for this. But yeah, I think it might be a quite cool project for people starting to contribute during Hacktoberfest, because
Yeah,
like
I think
it's
so.
probably the way to go if you're looking for good first issues inside our organization, but also like other people providing
Yeah,
good first issues in their own repos.
and I think maybe I could also do. We've got a bit of time. I think we've got like 5 weeks before Hacktoberfest. By the way, who's getting involved in Hacktoberfest? Let us know in the chat. Are you doing it for the swag, for the green squares, or for both, or for something else? But an idea I've got, Carl, potentially is maybe I could do a short video on how to get the project up and running locally or with Gitpod or something, and then how to find the tests and how to run the tests and write the tests. And then we could maybe at the bottom in the footer have like a contributing button. It goes to the README or the
Yep.
contributing file in the repo, and then we can embed a link to the YouTube video or something, and so people could get started. I could kind of combine it with I've got my notes to do a Hacktoberfest video, but maybe a Hacktoberfest video that isn't. Hacktoberfest is about contributing to open source to get it, but maybe something actually like, Hacktoberfest, but actually showing people how to contribute, like technically. I think could be quite
Yep.
different this year. Could be quite, rather than just reading off the Hacktoberfest website, could be quite interesting.
Yeah, it's still five weeks or I think it's 5 weeks until
I think it's
October.
5 weeks. Yeah.
But yeah, there are other ideas we are having for this for the project to be ready until October. That's essentially the reason why I started with like the thing I thought might be the most challenging one. Another thing is like grouping for languages, adding like pagination, because currently only 50 results are loaded, which is fine for now because we are not having like more than 50 issues currently to be displayed. But like if I can imagine the closer it gets to Hacktoberfest, the more issues will be listed, and then we need to like refetch data in case people want to display more. Like that's another thing. And then the switch between GitHub and EdiHub and GitHub and the toggle isn't that clean on the one hand, like accessibility wise. Emma might be better with this. but also like the performance. Like if you click GitHub, for example, it switches, but it takes, I can actually display it. But it takes a couple of seconds until the data is refetched.
Okay.
It looks clunky. It's working, but it's working. It's a MVC probably, but yeah, there are many things to be changed. Also, for example, like displaying the labels there. I'm not sure if it adds that much value having like aspect code. Maybe, for example, yes, but there are a ton of labels because especially when crawling entire GitHub, people are not using standardized labels. So the list of labels might get very long depending on the labels used. So yeah, I also open a discussion. Let me bring this up actually, so people can get
Contribute.
involved
That
in the
sounds
discussion
good.
there.
And while you're bringing that up, I'm just going to say that I think maybe we also need some rules of adding the EddieHub Good First Issue label, and I think maybe we should have some rules so it's different to the Good First Issue that everyone else uses. Like must have like step-by-step guide for people to actually make the contribution, rather than it's just like a title that says add login, and it's like, well, that's not really a Good First Issue. A Good First Issue needs to take the user through it, and maybe we could have an example. So I'm going to make a note of that. So yeah, sorry, carry on.
So yeah, that's essentially the discussion I created for now, where I just wrote down the ideas I had feature-wise that can be implemented before Hacktoberfest. Yeah, like the first one, turning authentication to GitHub OAuth is what I did for now. Then the second, display the version number. That's one you recommended because yeah, currently not the version number isn't shown. Then adding a detail page for the issues. So currently, let me switch back to EddieHub. If you click on an issue, you're actually redirected, or it takes you to the issue. Having like a small detail page where we display like some information about the repo, some information about the issue without navigating away from our app.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an idea. I also, for every idea, I opened a thread here, so you can leave comments.
Perfect. And
Yeah,
do you want to sorry, go on. Carry on.
The fourth one is display more information about the repo itself. It's actually part of this. And then add pagination, infinite scroll, what I said before. Like these are the ideas for the next 5 weeks. If you have any other suggestions, issues, just get involved here. It's just for bouncing ideas.
I'm going to share the discussion. So if people want to add to it, they can. It'd be great to hear your thoughts and what would make your life easier to find projects and issues to contribute to. I mean, maybe even like a rating system, but again, that's quite hard because everyone would rate something different. Someone might rate it a 3, it's easy, and someone else might rate it a 13, which is hard. So I don't know, but just throw any ideas out there, and then someone else can maybe combine ideas or improve the ideas and so forth. So I love that. I mean, Christian gave me that idea just now when they're asking how to navigate a large code base. I don't think you need to. I think people worry too much. Usually we work in a file or a component or a module. You don't need to understand the whole code base, which is why automated testing is so important, because you can check that you haven't broken anything anywhere else by making changes. But maybe somehow on the EddieHub Good First Issues that people can use on the entire GitHub, it doesn't have to be just on EddieHub projects, then we can maybe add some features that help. I don't know, something like maybe a label with, rather than difficulty, I don't know, lines of code changes expected, and then I don't know, you could t-shirt size it small, medium, and large. And so if someone said, well, this is a good first issue, but it's large in terms of required changes, or maybe how many files you need to look at, again, it's just to t-shirt size it so people know if they want something kind of because they're getting started. Because I think there's people who are getting started, there's different levels, right? People are getting started, but they've got experience in coding, but they haven't done open source. And then there's somebody who's new to tech, but also new to open source. So I think it would be, important. I don't know how you would do that, but just put your ideas down there. Don't leave your comments in the chat, but please copy and paste them into the GitHub discussion. Otherwise, they will get lost. That's all I would say.
Yeah, I think that's essentially for me now. I think I talk way too much.
No, that's perfect. Really exciting. It's great to see this project coming along. and your ideas are really good. And I think it's super exciting. The version number, I think, is a good one for someone to get started with.
Yep.
And the rules and potentially a video as well, I think, is a really good one for me to add to my list as well. Video to contribute what would we need to include in the video? Video to get set up and contribute. So then that makes it a bit easier for people to do that. Awesome. Well, Carl, I'm going to do a few more reviews of people in the chat. You're welcome to stay, and you're welcome to to drop off if you need to go. I know you had.
I think I'll stay in the chat and maybe have a look into like setting up these dummy tests or placeholder tests in parallel.
Okay, perfect. Sounds like good multitasking. Thank you so much for joining in, giving that demo. This is super exciting, like literally amazing work. I can't wait to tweet some of these. So let me know when it's ready for me to tweet about the automated tests. I think that could be good, especially with the placeholders. I think that would be great. But we can do at least the public tests for now, get people contributing the public tests, and the ones after authentication can come later. So awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Carl. I will steal the screen share back. Everyone, say thank you to Carl. And before I actually kick Carl off, I'm joking. But I should also share Carl's GitHub. Drop Carl a follow on GitHub as well. You get to see all the awesome stuff that Carl is doing even. Thanks again, Carl. Okay, I will remove Carl and add my screen back. Who's getting ready back to some reviews? And hopefully you're all going to get some green squares today. So many green squares for you on that Finder project. Super exciting. Okay, I'm going to leave that open if anyone has any questions on it. So I need some. Thank you so much, Solly. Thanking Carl. Love that. One last question. But while I'm reading this question, if all of you could put your issue numbers in the chat, I want to start picking a few at random as well. I want to review. You've been here the whole time, all of you. Thank you so much. I want to review some of your projects or profiles and so forth. How do you read large code base and get familiar with it and even to contribute? We had a question a few minutes ago. You really don't need to get familiar with the whole code base. I think that's something that, people do to kind of, scare themselves from actually contributing. You just need to know either the one file, the component, the module. Just try and get started with what you want to contribute. Do you want to contribute to the authentications? Look at the Finder project, for example. Do you want to contribute to the automated tests? Well, you need to get the project up and running. You need to understand what features it's got and from the UI perspective, and then start contributing to the automated test, like get the test running and add a test. But if you want to improve the authentication for whatever reason, then you just need to understand the authentication part. You don't need to understand the entire code base. I think that's really, really important. I actually might make a note. I'm actually going to tweet that to say you don't need to understand the whole code base. I think that's really important. What do you all think? Do you agree? Let me know in the chat. Okay, I've made a note, so I'm going to tweet that later. I love these ideas that you all give me, so thank you so much. Yes, contribute to open source. We just had this question a few minutes ago as well. In the Eddie Hub organization, if you go to you'll be public until you join the organization. But if you've joined that organization, great. But just change this to public, and you will see 5 steps to get started. Like today, you'll get like 3 or 4 or 5 green squares straight away. I'll share that in the chat for you as well. Go get started today. No excuses. And if you can improve the onboarding process, let us know. And that's Carl's GitHub. Go follow that. Love the support for Carl. Love this. Just with open source, just keep moving. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Just try it. Okay, so no one's shared any issues they want me to look at in the chat. So none of you got open source projects do you want me to review? But you can't share the GitHub link. YouTube will remove it because it's a link. Give me submit it to our support repo and give me the issue number. I'd like to do a few of those before we leave the live stream and head to a Twitter space about, you guessed it, open source. Shh, secret. I never talk about open source. It's a secret. Okay, that's what I always talk about. So really, it's not a secret. Okay. Get a remote job. Yes, do it. Open source. Stand out from the crowd. Like, Rohit, thank you so much. The first person to submit an issue. Rohit, I'm just going to click on anyone here, and I want to update this to be your number. 5099. Thank you so much, Rohit. Let's have a look. We have got a repo to review. Let's have a look. 18 minutes ago. Raised it really soon. Okay, cool. We're going to review this. Let me catch up with a bit of chat. Explain a bit about what, Abhishek. I'm not sure what you mean. Go follow the instructions in the GitHub org and you can get started straight away. Yes, as I mentioned, GitHub org. I've written them there. 5 steps. Get started straight away. Do it. Okay. Abhishek, I actually have a good YouTube video on this. Check out my YouTube channel, or I can share a link with you in Discord afterwards on how to do forks and different branches and so forth. It's like a 5-minute video. Yes. Let's have a look. Well, let's get started. Have I opened it? Let's open this and have a look. This is this repo. Oh, there it is. I opened it twice. Here we go. What are your first impressions, everyone? Almost 100 stars. Let's see if we can get it to 100 stars. Let me share the issue. You can leave your thoughts on the issue as well. Give feedback, right? It's a great way to network and collaborate and all that great stuff. It's not about spamming people's links. It's about collaborating, and they will look at your profile and see what blogs and videos and repos you're doing. So my initial thoughts is this probably shouldn't be committed. There are some rare occasions where people need to do it, but I really don't believe that's required. What happens if someone uses WebStorm or IntelliJ or something like that? So, but first impressions is, you've got releases, looks good. You've got description, and you've got a deployed version, which I really like. So straight away you can see what it looks like. You've got a screenshot, actually it's an animated GIF. I love that. That's really, really good. And you've got the keys that are being pressed shown. Really, really nice. And you've got instructions on how to use it. So I do like that. It's looking really good. And here you go. So you can see it. Looks really good. Okay, so let me just make some notes as we go along. So looks great. Some suggestions. Can't spell suggestions. What do you all think? I want your suggestions as well. And don't forget, you can raise issues on the project and get a green square for raising issues. I don't think it is a good idea to commit the VS Code. Oh, can't. .VS Code folder. Because it's auto-generated, and so everyone else is going to have a different version of that. The other thing people can do, can raise a pull request and add it to the git ignore. So there's another green square for all of you. Add that as an issue and add it to the git ignore. It's another pull request. And you'll get a green square for the pull request and the commit. So like, it's just like so many green squares. Nobody ever wants green squares. They say they do, but they don't actually want it. Okay, so what else have we got? Let me see. You're welcome, no problem. Looks awesome. Love the support from each other as well. Cool. No, don't push any generated. You ignore the build directory, the cache directory, the IDE directory. So in this case, you're using WebStorm or PyCharms or whatever by IntelliJ. Don't commit that. No, you shouldn't. It should be in the ignore. I don't add it to my ignore files in the project because I actually add it to my global git ignore folder on my computer, because we could all be using different IDEs, and then you'll have a git ignore in the project that's got like 10 or 20 different IDEs. I think everyone should take care of their own file system. But some people like to add it, but as long you shouldn't commit it though. And by add it, I mean add it to the git ignore. Do not commit it. Cool. So yes, that's great contribution. Someone could delete that folder, add it to the git ignore. Some other contributions for you as well. So what else? I always go to the insights next and look at community standards. We've got some more green squares. Who needs green squares? Say green squares in the chat. Code of conduct. You need one of those. Add code of conduct. And it's quite easy to add a code of conduct. They've literally got like a propose button, and they've got different templates you can choose. Contributing file is a little bit more work, but I would suggest just add one line to that file. Any questions, start a discussion. Any questions, join our Discord, whatever it is. And then you can just build on it over time. You don't have to get it perfect straight away. Add a license. People won't contribute or use the project if there's no license. it will scare off a lot of people because they're not sure if they're allowed to use it or they can contribute to it and so forth. So definitely add a license. You could always go, and again, when you choose a license, it gives you, what do you call it? The propose button, and you can always go to choosealicense.com by GitHub. Gives you some examples, and then it gives you the comparisons, like which ones you want. MIT is, the most kind of relaxed one. So I have a video on that as well. No surprises there. Issue templates could be quite useful to help people, but not required. And pull request templates, again, could be useful, but not required. But definitely get most of this done. I think that's definitely important. Green squares. Yes. So you've got that issue. Raise an issue on the project saying remove VS Code from the committed and add it to the git ignore as well. And then someone can do the commit, deleting the folder, updating the git ignore, and raising the pull request. Okay. You're welcome. Starting to set it up now. Carl is racing ahead, multitasking. Awesome, Carl. Let us know how it goes. Super, super excited. That project is racing ahead. Lots of stars on that project, which I think is awesome, and we're going to get a lot more contributors over the next few weeks, and definitely for Hacktoberfest. We should do some live streams on it during October as well. Okay, thank you so much for the amazing feedback. Really appreciate it. It means a lot. And another thing you can do, all of you, if you want to support the live stream, it costs you nothing. Not expecting you to pay anything, but you could give the video a thumbs up. It's completely free for you, and subscribe below. And you'll get notified, or if you hit the bell button, you get notified every time I post a video and go live. But it really helps support my channel, and so I can get some more, sponsored content by clients, and I can do more free content. And don't forget to join our Discord if you want to chat between videos and live streams. So what else have we got here? Let's have a look. Let's go to issues. My next go-to is issues. So no labels on this. So I would suggest adding some labels. Great to see Sean is also getting involved in this project as well. Nice. Has Sean contributed yet? Not yet. Hopefully we'll get Sean to the contributors. If no one wants those green squares, I'll happily delete this and make the suggestions myself. And you can delete this and add it to the git ignore in 2 pull requests if you want a few extra green squares. A bit cheeky, but definitely possible to do. Do live streams every day. We'll give it a thumbs up. Sagal, thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. That's awesome. I love that. What else? What else can we see that needs doing? So you got releases, which I think is great. So you got 4 releases. I think that's really good. Are these automated or are they done manually? Let's have a look. They're done manually. So I reckon having a GitHub Actions, this is a great way that people can contribute to other people's projects, is by using GitHub Actions. Because look, they've got a test folder, but they're probably running this manually. So let's have a look. Yeah, they've got playwrights. If I go to package, what have they got in scripts? They've got a build that could run on a GitHub action to make sure it builds correctly. It doesn't fail. They've also got tests. You could run that on a GitHub action by copying and pasting a few lines of the YAML config. So it's another issue that could be raised. I should be writing these down, and then people could take each one of these and raise an issue for it. So use issue labels. What was the other thing? Use GitHub actions. And some of the suggestions was, what did we say? We said create a release. You can do that with a GitHub action. It automates it, numbers it all correctly. What else could we do? We said a few things I've forgotten already. Oh yeah, you could run the build. You could also run the tests as well on the GitHub action. So many more things. Like literally check. I hit close already. I didn't mean to do that. We get back to editing it. And I want to add the YouTube video. Let me know in the chat what you think. While I just grab the YouTube link as well. How many thumbs up have we got on the videos now as well on the live stream? Reviewed on a live stream. Okay. Let's see. What we've got on the live stream. Yeah, I just started following Sean, so I'm looking forward to it. It's a Svelte project, right? Does Sean like Svelte project, or was it you saying that because Playwright's already there? So if Playwright's already there, then people can start adding automated tests. No worries. GitHub Actions works the same if you're using Next.js, React. it literally runs your npm commands. So, we can add one now if you want. Just copy it from one of the GitHub projects. Most of the time, GitHub Actions are literally copy and pasting. Out of the box, playwright. Yeah, so you've got it, and then you can copy stuff from the Finder project as well and start running the tests and stuff. 70 likes, 71. Awesome. Let's see if we can. Do you think we could hit 100? I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I want to submit that, but you know what we can do is if I just update that, shall we make a contribution? Let's quickly do it. What do you all think? And then I can show you how to do it, and you all can get some green squares. So if I go to the EdiHub link-free project, because we have a lot of automation on that, and if you go to the .github folder and go to workflows, you can see these. We've got our deploy, we've got our prettier, we've got our releases, community, and build. So I'm just going to grab the build, and you can see we run a linter, and then we run the tests. So I'm going to grab this, I'm going to copy and paste this, and we're going to tweak it slightly. You can still raise the issue for this to get the green square. I'm going to go to their project. This is their project. It can do this all in the UI. I'm not even going to do this in the command line. That's how straightforward it is. I want to add a file, so I'm going to create a new file. GitHub already forked the project for me, and it's going to be .github workflows with an S. I'm pretty sure with an S. Let me just check. Where did it go? Workflows with an S, and we can call it build.yaml. And then in here, I'm just going to paste in what I copied. And we're going to run the build for push and pull request. And here, I don't know if they have a linter. Let's just see what they've got on the project. You can go to, that's the wrong project, Eddie. Go to the correct project, it would help. And then we go to the package JSON and see what script commands they have. So they have a build. I think it's important to see that the build passes. So I'm going to delete the tests, and we're going to run a build. I'm going to remove the lint step. But we do need to install the dependency. So I can explain what this does. So the name, you can call it anything you want. It's what appears on the GitHub action page. This is the trigger that will trigger the events to run this. We want to run this on these two. And then again, this is the name of the job. And for this, we're going to run it on Ubuntu, and we're going to run multiple steps. We're going to check out the code. We're going to set up node. I think 16 is the LTS. And then we're going to install dependencies. So you give it a name. You don't have to have a name, but it's recommended. And this is the command we're going to run, and then we're going to run build. I think that's the command. Yeah, npm run build. So that's all we need to do. And that's pretty easy. It took like literally 10 seconds. So I'm going to say it's a feature, GitHub action for build. Is there an issue number? Has anyone raised the issue yet? Let's get some green squares. If someone's awesome, Solly, love that. You've done that one. Does anyone want to raise the issue for adding a GitHub action for the build? And there's loads more actions you can do for the automated testing. Even if the project isn't using the automated testing like fully, it's just what comes out of the box. Still run it on a GitHub action, because then later on when an automated test is added, then it will just run on the GitHub action. Like set up the good foundations. We've got more issues to come. Don't worry, got loads. And if you raise a duplicate issue, you can always close it and just say, oh, I raised it. Sorry, realize this is duplicate. So let me see. Refresh this. Still no issue. I need to deploy publish to npm. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna commit that. I won't put an issue number in it. I'm just gonna commit that. I'm gonna propose a new file. See how straightforward it is to contribute to someone's project. And GitHub automatically pre-fills it. It's from my fork and my branch to the main and to Rohit's repo. And these are my changes. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to create a pull request. You should give it a description, and I'm going to leave it blank. Sorry, Rohit. Don't judge me, but just for the sake of time. Then once it's merged in GitHub Actions, it will run. So that's how you can add it. Remember, look at the link-free project as examples, but also look at what they're running. Again, tests. You got some checks that you could probably. You have got a linter, so you could have another GitHub action. You could have a GitHub action for each of these. Yes, you could join them together into one action if you wanted to. Like for example, for our GitHub actions for I think releases or deployment, we where is it? I think for this one, for the deploy, we have multiple steps, and you can see it. It has multiple steps, but you could have a separate one for each of these, and they trigger each other. It depends on your strategy. You can always change this later on and move them around, but definitely get some GitHub actions going. Right. I'm using release it for manual publishing. Use the GitHub action that we use in Linkfree. It allows us to automatically do it. So our releases also add the change logs on what changed. So you can see if it's a bug fix, it can be released on every single, kind of merge in. So everything's quite small. But if you go back through the history, you'll find ones that have bug fixes and have features underneath and all the rest. And they link back to the commit and the pull request as well. So it creates that all for you and does all the numbering. So when you do a feature, it bumps up a number. The major minor bumps up the minor. As you can see, it's gone from 69.5 to 0.70 because it was a feature that was added. So have a look at that. I will share Linkfree in the chat as well. Yes, it supports minor, major, and patching and everything. So very, very awesome. Right, who should we review next? Give me a number. Did anyone submit any issue numbers? Let's have a look. How are we doing on thumbs up? Got 52 people here. How many thumbs up do we have? Do we have any new subscribers as well? Let me check. We've got a few new subscribers according to my phone. Thank you all. And we've got some issue numbers. Okay. Kabir has been here since the beginning as well. Let's have a look at Kabir's 5094. You probably raised that today as well. Yeah, 1 hour ago. Let's have a look. Another what's it called? Let me close some of these. Here we go. It was this one, right? The Cyber Hub. Okay. Let's have a look. What are your first impressions? Looks very cool, very geeky. Like it. If you could animate that, it would make the file a bit bigger, but that could be quite cool. I don't know. I don't know if it is animated or a still picture in the background, but it might be something that might catch people. Could be quite good. What does the project do though? Community website. Okay. Hub of cybersecurity. You've told people how to do it. Let's have a look. 3 stars. Is it pretty new? 30 days ago or 3 months ago it started. And you got releases. So first impression, it looks really good. We've got releases. You've got licenses, code of conduct. Looking good. What do you all think in the chat? Let us know. Thank you so much, Francesco. Appreciate you being here. We need to do some live streams together, Francesco. Again, we've done a few more. I'm going to plan another one, actually. You give me some ideas. Thank you for joining here. We make a note and to live stream with Francesco. Note, organize. Let's see. Live with Francesco. Maybe Twitter profile reviews. What do you think? Francesco. Okay, I made another note. I need to write it down, otherwise I'll forget. But awesome to have you all here. Thank you so much for joining. Gizem, how you doing? Awesome to have you here. Thanks for the contributions on the open source projects. When are you joining me on a live stream as well? We've got Twitter Space first. I work on the Twitter Space first. We've got open source. I'm not hosting it. I can't remember who's hosting it. Let me check my calendar. But after this, there is a Twitter Space today. China is hosting a Twitter Space in like 30 minutes on open source, and I'll be on stage. So come and say hi and join us on stage with your questions and ideas and so forth. Yeah, my birthday's gone now. I'm definitely older. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Yes, get the professional there. Francesco, you're the professional. Let's do it. Okay, so let's review this. Let's have a look. What else have we got? What's everyone's thoughts on this? So wiki's hidden. That's good because most of the time it's not used, and I recommend using the docs folder in the project. It's looking good. Did we check the insights yet? I can't remember. Insights. Full house on the insights, really good. Like that. Any discussions? No discussions going on. I'd recommend starting one probably, just so people can get started with it. You've got labels. You're using labels. Are you using pull requests? Yes, you're using pull requests. Okay. I don't know how much more I can comment on this. You're looking good. Are you using workflows? You are using workflows. Okay, impressive. Looks good. What else? I haven't got much to add. It looks really good. I think someone should go through these steps. Someone who's new to tech, new to the project, and see if there's anything missing. Fork the project, clone the fork project, navigate to the cloned directory. Maybe you want to put in some commands to help people. I don't know, just a suggestion. But that's at least looking really good. I haven't got much to add. So yeah, great work. Yeah, get people to test it out would be good. I will leave a note. Whoa, looks great. Not much to add. Suggest getting someone, one word, to test out the docs and get some feedback. Awesome. Looks really good. We will. Yes, we will. Okay, let's have a look what else we've got. You're welcome, Kabir. It looks really good. It's not often I'm lost for words, but I'm lost for words in a good way because that looked really good. So great work, everyone. And actually, let me just share that in the chat if people want to go and give some feedback and contribute. Okay, so what have we got next? Let's have a look. Oh, let's bring up the next one. Where is it? Web3 5100 is a profile, apparently. Okay. I learned so much from these. It's great. So let's have a look. What have we got? Web3. So Francesca, this is in your space. Let's have a look. Description, nice. You got your name as well and a picture of yourself. It makes it more personal. Really like that. Maybe try and get some more achievements. If you can get a few more, join an organization, join EdiHub. Recommend it. Looks good. I mean, these two titles next to each other look a bit strange, but not the end of the world. Connect with me. I think these icons are a bit like blocky, but it could be because I've zoomed in. They still don't look very sharp, so I'll try and make those a bit sharper if you can. The widgets, you're using that white space or the vertical and horizontal space quite well. And that graph looks pretty good, so maybe keep it. Profile views, I really don't like profile views because if it has a low number, it looks bad. If it has a high number, we think you faked it and just refreshed the page like 100 times. So yeah, I'll just get rid of that. And you've got some pinned repos. I would suggest putting descriptions in those pinned repos. And then your green squares, looks like you've just started, but it's looking really good. So looks good. Some suggestions. Remove profile views. Counter. Hope that makes sense. And what was the other thing I said? Oh yeah, the pinned repos. Pinned repos to have descriptions. What do you all think? Let me know in the chat. Carl, thank you so much. Let me know how you get on. I'm out tomorrow, but maybe on Wednesday, if you want to do a bit of pairing on Discord, we can jump on a call and get people to join us as well, and we can do a bit of pairing on that. But that Finder project is coming along really, really well. I think it will pass maybe the link free in stars very, very soon. Yes, join the community. Let me get you the link. If I go to the community here, and for people who want to get started in open source and join the community, if you look at the community and you haven't joined yet, or if you have, put it to public. Actually, I can copy the link with public at the end. And you got, how to get started, how to join the organization, how to join our Discord, how to contribute to our Hacktoberfest practice, how to contribute to Linkfree, and then how to customize your profile as well. Free course too. So yes, go check that out. There's the link. Okay, let me leave that open. But yeah, it looks really good. I think it looks great. Keep going. That's all I can suggest. So okay, let me close that. So how are we doing on time? My God, we're going for an hour and a half already. Time flies when you're having fun. I do really need to go. I know there's over 50 of you here, so thank you so much. I need to go soon for this Twitter space in 30 minutes and to get some dinner before. Okay, let's see. Everyone, drop your numbers in the chat again, and we'll see who's been here from the beginning, and see. Pick one out at random. While you're here, have you all subscribed below? Have you given the video a thumbs up? Okay, some numbers. Let's have a look. What numbers have we got? Let me scroll. No numbers have come in, so let me scroll through. Let's see. Okay, Hemant. Let's have a look. What number have we got? 5,004. That's probably open today as well. 15 minutes ago. Okay, profile review. Let's have a look. Here we go. 82 thumbs up. Oh, we're almost at 100 people. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, nice banner. I've seen this banner before. Is this a banner you made? Have I seen your profile before? Or is this a banner that lots of people have been using? I've definitely seen that banner a lot on the last live stream last week, but I don't know if it was yours. Let me see if I can remember. Do I recognize everything? I do recognize this. I'm sure I reviewed this on the Let's Do a Search. Did I review this last week, or was it just similar to someone else's? Let's do a search. I can search issues, right? No, I haven't. Well, actually, I can also filter by yours as well, right? Interested to know. My mind's terrible. So if I authors by you, and your username is Hemant was there, which is not that one. That's someone else's. I don't know. Okay, my detective skills did not go very well. Don't judge me on it. Okay. Oh, someone else's banner. You stole it. Okay. You probably need to give them credit for it. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's open source banner or not, and what the license is. So I need to see. But that's why I recognize it. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that up. Thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lovely, massive dinner shortly before Twitter Space. Need that energy, so I can shout about open source on the Twitter Space. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got a Twitter Space coming up. I'm pretty sure I have. Maybe someone can tag China and find out if it is on. Okay, back to this. I would say put your surname, because if someone wants to Google you and find your LinkedIn or Twitter or something, it might be easier to find you. Great profile picture, that it's a clear picture, makes it more personal. Got your location. I'm just talking about going to New Delhi today, so hopefully we'll see you at the event. And the organizations you belong to your Twitter. Nice, you got some badges and awesome organizations as well. This one hasn't got, doesn't look like a kind of a organization that's ready, so you might want to hide that in your profile. So the other thing I would suggest is it's a lot of vertical space. So it's great that you've kind of hidden that. So I would just, getting in touch, maybe move that up, because it's quite important. And the streaks, you could leave it. Maybe if you could put it next to the random joke, try and use, use a bit more of the horizontal space a bit better. But it's looking good. Lots of green squares. You've got some pinned repos. 2 or 4 is my favorite number. I would say you've got no code reviews. Definitely try and do some code reviews. So let me leave some notes. So looks good. Some suggestions. What are all your suggestions? You need to give feedback on each other. Not just my point of view. I want everyone to, I'm here to start the conversation. I want you all to give feedback on each other. That's how we all learn and improve together. So what was my suggestions? I've forgotten. Do some code reviews. What else? Streak and joke widget waste horizontal space. So you might want to do something about that. And then maybe move socials to the top. Move socials to or nearer to the top. Nearer to the top is my suggestion. And the organization, right? I was going to say remove, hide organizations that are not active. For example, no logo. Otherwise, yeah, it looks good. Thank you so much for submitting it. I hope that helps. Hope that helps you and other people as well. Oh yes, and the alignment is not consistent. I think it's good to be consistent. New Delhi 2, nice. You can submit your profile in our support repo. So if I just, let me submit this so I don't lose it. New issue. I'm going to share this link in the chat, and if you select the one, if it's a profile review, select that one. If you want to get invited to the GitHub org, do that one. If you want a portfolio review, resume, Twitter profile, where's the open source one? I lost it. Open source. Just submit the ones you want, but don't put multiple ones together. Make sure they're separate. So Narutam, hopefully that helps. Go submit it. It'd be good to see it. Yeah, more code reviews. And you can do that on the Hacktoberfest project on EddieHub and Linkfree project. We really encourage people who aren't maintainers. You can still do code reviews. So definitely do that. But you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for submitting it. And thank you for the thank you. Okay, awesome. I'm going to call it a day there, going for over an hour and a half. Everyone, thank you so much for joining this live stream. Always awesome to geek out with you. Join us in our EddieHub Discord. Link is in the description below. Shall I get it for you again? Make it a bit easier for you. discord.eddiehub.org. And then that way we can chat between live streams and videos and so forth. And when I jump on calls with, Naomi or Carl or Praduma, we usually have them public, and so you can join in the conversation and get some open source green squares, collaborate with us, and so forth. So that all sounds great. Hopefully, if I have got a Twitter space in 30 minutes or 25 minutes with China, I will see you all there. Keep an eye on Twitter, and I will check my DMs to see if she's told me we're doing it or not doing it. I'm not sure, so I need to check. Discord community is so fun. You're missing out if you're not there. So thank you all so much for your support. Really, really appreciate it. And have a great week, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye, everyone.